I think what you should ask yourself, which people often don't do, always ask, does this achieve my short, medium, and long-term objectives or goals? Meaning, you have to be careful not to focus on the short term. Whether it's with dating or business, you have to factor in, if you're a girl, does he look good, good now? Will he look good in 5 years? Will he look good in 20 years? More or less. Of course, you give the most weight to now. But you have to give weight also to down the road. Does it seem to play out? Same with career tracks. Does it seem to play out now? Now we know, but how is this going to play out in 5 years? We don't know for sure. Do I see a path to the long term? Not a guarantee. I see a path. Or is it a non-starter? Understand? So that dovetails into your question also, right?
Yeah. It all relates.
Right. So short, medium, and long-term objectives, goals, and my thing is potential. Are you playing out your short-term potential? Look, medium-term and long-term. Many people are stuck. That's the problem today with the grads today. Many are stuck. They have very limited windows, very, very limited opportunities. You have to accept that. Much more limited than my generation. And my generation was no picnic, but it's much narrower now. There's a very narrow window to go to the next step. Extremely narrow. But the windows exist. Hillary Clinton wrote a book, It Takes a Village, right, to bring up a family. It takes a family to get you rolling today, to get you to the next step, to get that summer job. It takes a whole infrastructure of friends, family to get you the damn summer job. So it's very challenging today. Everyone knows it. Everyone is aware of it. Not everyone is aware of it. At all ages, we're all aware of it. But the windows exist, and you have to play it the best you can for the current context.
Would that fit into your idea of complexification of it's instead of there being less potential out there in the short term, there's it's going to complexification with limited opportunities?
That's complexification. I'm talking metaphysically about the universe, about evolution. Now we're talking now very down to earth. No complexification here. About risk reward, which path to take. That's the level of your question. You go into Starbucks today and everybody has an advanced degree. All the people doing the coffee, advanced college degree. Meaning that's their maximum potential at this moment in time, career-wise. So God help us all. That's what's happening. So we know it's very challenging. Everybody knows it. First, you have to say that everybody understands it. It's very challenging, but it's possible. You have to accept. I accept how challenging it is. When we see someone today breaking out, it's oh my gosh, it's fantastic. I asked my son Solomon, how many friends are not going to the family business? He said none, or maybe 1 out of 15. Wow, right? So it's challenging. Look, I'm not saying there's not plenty of opportunity, but everyone knows how challenging it is today. It's really challenging. And it's simultaneously challenging. There is opportunity, but you need luck and this and that. You hear what I'm saying, right? If that's sort of your question, right? Yeah. So first, in many areas of life, first you have to accept the problem. Okay, accept that it's challenging. And then you go from there. We understand it's challenging. Now we're trying to maximize it. Given what we have, look, a person who in war does the same thing. The refugees in the Middle East do the same thing. Given our situation, how do we maximize it? The billionaire says the same thing. I have 3 billion. How do I get to 6 billion? Everybody's making the same equation, but you have to understand what you're doing. You're saying, given what I have, my assets, my liabilities, my taste for risk, what's my move on the chessboard? And you don't have to get it exactly right every time, but you should really go through the process every time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go through the process, go through the discipline of the process. And eventually you can do it automatically. You may be doing it already. That'll be my direct answer to your question. I think the universe does it itself. It tried dinosaurs. It blew out. Dinosaurs blew out. Okay, let's try another path. It blew out because of a meteor or whatever. Bottom line, it blew out. It didn't work. We try a different road. So the universe does the exact same thing. It advances forward, both to survive and to prevail. Potential man wants to survive, Darwinian, right? Survive. That's not enough. We want to prevail. No problem to survive. Anybody here can survive. You find shelter, you find food. By hook or by crook, you find shelter and food. But the hard part is to prevail. Get beyond that. That's what humans do. That's what we do. We prevail. We've gotten to this point, right? We have our successes. We have our setbacks. But as a civilization, we advance. As a city, we advance, right? New York City. As humans, we advance. We advance on many fronts. And we see there's an opening. There's an opening, financial opening. Let me spend time on that. There's a spiritual opening. Maybe let's spend a little more time on that. I found a new leader, a new church I like. But let me advance on that. A little more time on that. There's a romantic opening. Let me invest time in that. I see possibilities there. We're always allocating our time, our precious time. I'm saying allocate with the most potential. I'm not telling you what you already know. I'm saying the universe is the same thing. That's the conjecture. It's doing the same thing. I suspect the cells in our body are doing the same thing also.
Yeah.
I suspect it. I suspect even the cancer cells are doing the same thing. They're trying to advance. But they're bad, and we have to destroy them. But I'm saying that even the cancer cell is trying to advance. In the process, it'll destroy us. But it's trying to advance. The terrorist in his own bizarre, twisted mind, he's trying to reach his potential. We have to cut that down because it's interfering with our potential. But basically, when you net it out, all these entities are trying to reach their potential. We frame it differently. He's evil, he's bad, he's good. Therefore, and if you don't give outer work maybe abused kids a viable option, they may turn to bad stuff to, quote, reach their potential, to get infamy, to get some renown, however diabolical it is. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, it's not that the society has a moral mandate to give everyone a job, but it's helpful. It's helpful to society to have everyone in a route to advance. Because if it's not a positive route, they might find a very destructive route. There's no moral imperative. It's more like it's in our self-interest as a society. Because many people routes to opportunity. But again, this is purely utilitarian. It's not a moral imperative. If you don't give people a good route to opportunity, bad things happen, one way or the other. And we say, how does it happen? Well, you have 45% of that population out of work. Yes, they're wrong to burn down the city. But in their own bizarre minds, they're reaching their maximum potential, believe it or not. We think they're criminal, thugs, destructive, and they are. In their mind, they're nobody without it. They don't have a job, they have nothing. They'll get a little short-term 15 minutes of fame by burning down the city. In their mind, they're maximizing the play. As crazy as it sounds to an outside observer. In their universe, they're maximizing the play. In the universe of the person who goes into a Connecticut school and kills kids, in his bizarre mind, he was a nobody before, and now people know him. So you want to cut that off.
Because I went to that school.
You want to cut that off as many ways as possible. You want to cut it off at the legs, at the knees, at the arms, so that can't happen. You don't want to have access to guns. You want to give him more opportunity, and you certainly don't want to give him publicity after his death. You have to cut it off on all possible areas if you're smart, because every entity on the planet will try to advance themselves if you give an opportunity. His mother left the guns in the house, and he's going to use the guns now. He saw on TV the other guys dressed in black, and on the front page, he's a nobody now. Who knows how much he hates his mother and vice versa? Who knows how much contempt he has for himself? But he'll join that club of strange weirdo killers who wear black. In his mind, he's advancing. You want to cut that down. So quest for potential can happen on many levels.